to my soul tribe. My name is Miriam Rose. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to subscribe to my channel as well as give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to visit my TikTok as well as Instagram for regular updates. And also, if you would like to expand your consciousness and manifest lots and lots of different things, as well as if you have any kind of interest in angels and so much more, please subscribe to my other channel called Spiritual Destiny. Let's begin. Sebastian Soto, a fellow drama channel, had an exclusive interview with Dakota Paytas, and he had a lot of questions for her. This is a tell-all interview, so let's get into it. Initially, Dakota talks about her rescue bunnies and shows one off, saying this is what started it all. She means that the rift between Trisha Paytas and herself happened when Dakota pointed out to Trisha that Trisha could have used faux bunny fur for their dining room setting instead of using the real bunny fur, which they and Moses did. And since she dared to pull Trisha up on this issue, Trisha unfollowed Dakota on all social media platforms. But Dakota was Trisha's #1 fan. And since she wasn't Trisha's fan, and a big one at that, Trisha had already invited Dakota to their wedding with Moses. And even though the two had a falling out over the rabbit fur incident, and Trisha had put a restraining order against Dakota, Dakota was adamant on attending the wedding as she was never officially uninvited and was boasting about crashing Trishas and Moses wedding on TikTok, updating us every hour on the hour. So Sebastian asks Dakota why she started posting Trisha Paytas videos.
Okay, so basically, the truth of like everything, I would make all kinds of TikToks, but they would always get banned because I do another website that shall not be named. But I do that. So TikTok after TikTok, ban, 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 ban. And I thought to myself, how does Trisha Paytas do this? How does she not get banned? And I just made Dakota Paytas one day because I was like, if they don't ban Trisha, they're not going to ban me. And I made a Trisha Paytas account and I started acting like Trisha. And she was my first ever commenter and my third, I think, follower on my entire account. I must have posted my first TikTok as soon as she looked at her phone because she literally was my first person.
Dakota goes on to state that Trisha Paytas watches everyone who posts anything about them. So Trisha had us fooled once again when they stated that they ignore all negative footage of them as it manifests negativity.
She needs to know what everyone is thinking about her at all times. So I think that's part. I don't know. I just made the TikTok and then she found it. And then I just kept going because then at that point I was like, wow. Maybe this is my thing. Maybe this is what's going to work.
Now, Dakota talks about being Trisha's viewer, but it doesn't sound like Dakota was ever an absolute Trisha stan. It sounds like Dakota kept getting banned on TikTok because of a certain website she kept using. And she said that if Trisha didn't get banned from TikTok, then if she does a similar content to Trisha's, then she would stop getting banned as well. She did say that her end result was probably wanting to attend or at least be invited to Trishas and Moses' wedding when she became Dakota Paytas on TikTok.
I was definitely a fan, but I was more of like a viewer. I wouldn't call myself a fan. I wasn't going around saying, yay, Trisha Paytas in like high school. But I remember we used to watch Trisha Paytas videos in middle school during study hall. So I would always like watch her then because a lot of the other girls I went to school with, they all liked Trisha Paytas. So I just kind of like learned it from then. And so I would say middle school, I watched her. High school, I kind of fell out. And then once I graduated, I really definitely like started watching her again just because I thought she was hilarious.
To answer whether Trisha invited Dakota to their wedding, here is what Dakota had to say.
So she verbally invited me multiple times on camera. I mean, there's multiple times that she led me to believe I was invited. And then one thing that a lot of people don't know or never heard was she got my legal name, she got my address, she got all of my information from me. And she even made a joke and said, when I send you the invite, I'm going to put to Dakota Paytas. And yeah, she got all of my information, which I felt is very invasive because I know when she got my information, she had no intentions on actually inviting me. She needed 2 girls and 2 boys for the table where everyone was sitting. She had 4 fans, 2 boys, 2 girls. I was just because they needed someone.
So Dakota was meant to be a stand-in, a filler fan. Rumors have been going around that Dakota traveled to LA to Trishas and Moses' wedding and was hiding in a vent or in the bushes. This is what Dakota had to say about it.
I have too much junk in this trunk to even fit an event. So let's just cheers to that. Yes. I never came to Los Angeles. I was actually moving. I moved from way far down in South Florida, and then I moved like 3 hours away. So I've been moving this whole weekend. And like for the past week, I've been like boxing stuff, moving, everything like that. So I didn't have time to go to LA. And I even knew I was moving months prior. So I knew I was never going to the wedding because I've known the wedding date for a long time. But I always knew I was moving on that day. So I knew I was never going.
There you go. You heard it directly from Dakota's lips. She was trolling us for a very long time on TikTok, pretending like she was getting ready to go to LA and sneak into the wedding. I guess Dakota Paytas and Trisha Paytas have more in common than we initially thought. Both are natural trolls. No wonder Trisha had been calling Dakota their sister for all these months. Sebastian asked Dakota if she hypothetically was to go to the wedding, what would she have done? And her response was that she would cause a scene and say, "What the freak?" I must admit that Dakota sounds very confident and self-assured in this interview, but I can't help feeling that she had missed her true calling in life as she is being very theatrical. What nobody knew was that Dakota and Trisha weren't on good terms before Dakota came out with the bunny TikTok. And Dakota was saying that on many occasions, Trisha didn't even bother to read Dakota's messages. 6 weeks to the wedding date and Trisha still hadn't posted Dakota an official wedding invitation. By this stage, Dakota was becoming more and more frustrated by Trisha's behavior.
She wants to, she is so frustrating. She wants what Trisha wants when Trisha wants it. If Trisha's done, Trisha's done. Whether it's rude or not, Trisha's just Trisha. Trisha, a lot of what people don't understand, and I know other people have said this before, Trisha Paytas is Trisha Paytas. She's not faking nothing. She's literally, when she says she only talks to Ethan and stuff online, that's true. She only did the same to me. She is like, when she's her, there's no front there. Like how I have like 2 separate lives. I feel like Dakota Paytas and myself, Dakota, we're 2 different people.
Right.
But with her, it's across the board, Trisha Paytas. I didn't think that was true. I thought everyone was kind of like me, like realizing social media is fake. Everything on social media is kind of like for show, and
right.
It's just not real life. And I thought there's no way Trisha Paytas is like this in person. But then when you start getting to know her in person as a friend, she's the same exact way.
It's scary to think what goes on in Trisha's head most of the time. It sounds like social media really got to Trisha in a big way, and they no longer distinguish the difference between their online persona and their private life. I mean, Trisha went as far as having their wedding sponsored, which I thought was a little much, even for Trisha Paytas. Getting off the topic for a minute. Dakota was saying that many YouTubers in real life aren't as nice as they are on their videos. And after Sebastian probed her a little further, she revealed some ugly truth.
I've had horrible experiences with YouTubers. One time I was carried out of Sephora by cops from a YouTuber because I touched him on his shoulder too hard, tapping him. I don't know. It was Jeffree Star.
There you go. Jeffree Star got catty with Dakota Paytas in Sephora because she simply tapped him on his shoulder and asked him for a picture. And how dare anyone touches Jeffree Star on his shoulder? Some people let fame and fortune get to their head, I guess.
One time I asked Nikita Dragon for a photo and she did this number to me and kept on walking.
Kids play this game too. If I can't see you, then you can't see me. How strange is it all? You would think that YouTubers would want to interact with their fans. After all, it's their fans who made them famous in the first place. A bit of gratitude would go a long way, but not in this case, I guess. Dakota goes back to the topic of the rabbit fur and Trisha's unsavory video where after showing off their dining room real fur rabbit chairs, Trisha laughs and asks Moses, "Should we be posting this?" So Trisha knew full well that they were once again inviting controversy into their life, or should I say, manifesting their fans to call PETA on them. Dakota also stated that Trisha knew Dakota's rabbits very well as Dakota showed them to Trisha several times. And for some reason, the chairs looked exactly like Dakota's real rabbits, which made Dakota feel triggered.
I felt like almost personally attacked, personally victimized by Trisha Paytas herself. I sent that and she left me on red. She didn't, nothing. That's the left on red that I said before. She left me on red a lot, but she also left all the other fans on red when they would message her, because all the fans would we would all talk and say, "Do you know the date yet?" They would say, "No." "Do you know the date?" "No." And every other day I would be getting messages from them, or I would be sending messages, because we were all so confused. When are you going to send it? You're waiting until the last very minute, and we aren't celebrities. We can't just get on a private jet and fly over to you.
Right.
So, wait, where was I going with this?
Getting back to the wedding date, and the way Trisha treats their fans is downright disrespectful, to say the least.
That's what really ticked me off, is I was I just opened up my heart to you, my friend, my sister, and then you don't respond when I tell you how upset I am. And she was making these TikToks, and this is how I know it was about me, is because she was making these TikToks saying that she doesn't want to disappoint people. And she was making them over and over and over. And it was every time I would send her a message, she would make another TikTok about how she doesn't want to disappoint people who truly support her or over support her. So I knew it was coming to an end, but I made the video. I didn't think that video was going to be the end. I thought that people would be like, "Oh, it's funny. She has a rabbit that looks exactly like the dead rabbits. Ha ha ha."
So every time Dakota would message Trisha, Trisha would ignore the messages. And then they would go on to TikTok and make a video on how they don't want to disappoint their fans. I guess it goes to show you that Trisha is all for show, trying to show fans how nice they are, where in actual fact totally ignoring all personal communication with their fans. As for Dakota, she planned to move on the time of Trishas and Moses' wedding and never intended to turn up in the first place to their wedding. So she fooled us all quite well, because all the drama channels were talking about Dakota Paytas crashing Trishas and Moses' wedding. I hope you enjoyed this video, I really do. And if you did, can you please comment below and let me know what you think of this whole situation and what you think of Trisha behaving the way they do. It's all a bit of a mess. Well, thank you so much for watching. Happy holidays, festive season to all. Cosmic kisses. Till next time. Bye for now.